Somebody went way too hard on the glitch effects. Are we looking at a reality show here? Like honestly, why are there so many time lapses? He gets stuck with his weapon on the left side and the next scene, the weapon is on his right side with plenty of space and time to attack. Boob shot. If they are flying origami, then why don't they just fly over the wall? Thank god the monsters are friendly enough to not attack them while they are introducing themselves and making a big speech. Having a tail feast inside a cliché. Fan service. Also, I don't think that's comfortable battle attire. He's being blamed for the death of a god eater, but he only died because they were too incompetent to finish the monster off. And the guy saves him by pushing him out of the way while he was clearly in no shape to even walk in the previous scene. Origami is being killed by explosions while it will be clearly said in future episodes that they can't be killed by conventional weapons. Origami have no trouble trying protecting planes, but they can't take down the biggest plane for some reason even though there were so many of them. Nobody tells the protagonist that his weapon is special and can actually eat origami to replenish itself. The fate of humanity is in the hands of this boy. Sorry to say, but no matter how fast they evolve, that's not how evolution works. The main characters are fighting each other for no reason. They could have just talked it out as they actually do in the later scene. Again, the origamis are nice enough to give people time to show off and slow-mo walk on top of a plane to get ready for the awesome fight scene that is to come. This is actually a pretty awesome fight scene. This is literally the worst scene in this anime. Like, how do people still exist if creatures this large are roaming around? Literally no explanation is given and this is never mentioned again. Where would this thing even live or what does it eat? How is it even alive? Super smart scientist guys don't think it's time to end the experiment and nuke their laboratory after some bacteria has started to replicate faster than the laws of physics allow. Lenka is surprised that people are handed food, even though in a flashback later on we see that he was also handed food. Son goes home to tell his mother that he's going off to a battlefield to die, and when surprisingly mother gets sad, he just decides to fuck off because he can't handle crying. Protagonist is being told that the capsule over there is the future of humanity, capable of holding everybody in the whole world, and he actually believes that shit. An expert with a lot of combat practice jumps down a building into some smoke where you can't actually assess the danger properly. Why is this anime trying to tell us the whole time that she is smart? Seriously, who keeps letting him fight on the battlefield? He literally can't handle any situation. Somehow they are able to accurately track down every death in the whole world in real time. They are going on a super important mission and the guy who has failed in every mission thus far isn't being let go, but is actually being taken with them for some goddamn reason. Weapon stroking? She grabs a pack of pills, but she doesn't open it to take them out. Did she just eat the whole thing or something? People are moving on a battlefield even though their lives are in danger. People realize to move only after some guy is brutally murdered in front of their eyes. Are we expected to believe that the main characters are human? Because the last that I checked, flesh and bone isn't stronger than rock. The main character passes out from a electric shock, but a hole in the body isn't that bad at all in comparison. Literally walking off a hole in the stomach. Where the fuck did that cliff come from? There were no cliffs in previous scenes. Falling down from a cliff does nothing these days. Thinking that heart massage could bring her back after God knows how long, and it fucking works! Lenka bandages her forehead that didn't really have any injuries, but couldn't fix the hole in his stomach. She touches Lenka's sword knowing that it could kill her, but it doesn't, proving to her that the sword is dead. Even though it isn't. Parents decide that it's okay to play hide and seek even though there are monsters in the world. That's what you get for being stupid. How many times can they fall? I think they are actually getting better with each injury. Why doesn't he try to revive them? It would probably work. How are they actually faster than four-legged origami? You couldn't outrun a fucking dog in real life. She finds her sword, but she doesn't take it. Instead, she turns around to wave at Lenka so she could be attacked. A seasoned veteran is having a mental breakdown, but the monsters are polite enough to wait it out. How is this place supposed to exist even with flying origami? Anime expects us to believe that everything here was carried here by one guy. Boob shot. Thank god this was the first time that the origami attacked and they were actually there. How did one of them already get this far? So why doesn't he actually eat the monster with his sword? It is clearly big enough. Government stops a project that they themselves generously funded for no apparent reason. Where does the sword actually store the balls, or does it just digest them? Isn't it kinda unsanitary that you can't take that thing off? And how are you even supposed to get dressed? You won't fit your hand through your sleeve with that thing on. This guy is given total control over everything, even though he has no prior experience. Anime tries to end itself in the middle of the episode. The planet is growing spikes for some reason that is not explained. If it is the alien bacteria, then even that wouldn't make any sense, since the bacteria is a living thing while these spikes do nothing. End of the world. Weapons do no damage to them while they actually do. Aragami is being stopped by some lasers while they could clearly get over that. Lenka passes out from a small attack. How does that even work anymore? He should be like gaining health. Creepy guy doing mind control stuff on a teenage girl. People find a completely healthy baby in the middle of monster infested wasteland. How does nobody notice that this guy is rotting or something? You'd think people would tie their shoes better if they were running for their lives all the time. Aragami is nice enough not to maul Lenka to death with just tossing a bit. The person who just saved your kids' lives is being mocked. I don't even mind the falling in the arms cliché. More like she started falling like 5 meters away. This is a very weird brother and sister moment. Nobody thought it was stupid to send a 15-year-old alone to gather supplies. World has ended a long time ago, so where does all of this smoke come from? The father said that he hid a motorcycle for emergencies. But this isn't hidden at all, it is in clear view next to some abandoned building rubble. Covering it with a sheet doesn't really mean that it's hidden. She cuts her own throat, so her brother could escape, and then commences to monologue for 5 minutes straight. Maybe you could have done that before killing yourself. Elisa was replaced by Kristen Stewart. A guy who has been on 3 missions is given complete control over the most important mission of them all. This is not physically possible that much came out of that woman. Since when could the monsters actually shoot back? Just no. He might be strong, but that has like the weight of a tank. Having a mentally unstable person on a battlefield seemed totally fine before. How many times can this guy be pierced? He doesn't even care himself anymore. So, in a flashback it was said that Aragami are picky eaters, but this far they have eaten humans, trees, non-organic material and organic material. How are they picky eaters exactly? He broke his sword the first time because he connected with the sword too much even though the swords were supposed to be unbreakable. Then they made a new one that was special made for him. And it still fucking broke. A swing that would have cut half any other character, but he's the protagonist so can't have any of that. Instead of eating it and gaining lots of energy, he just destroys it with precious energy stone.